Now, this is our first fight back with the full audience in Jacksonville, stacked card. And I wanted to get your opinions. I mean, who better than Thug Nasty himself? So are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start with the light heavyweights. We got Anthony Smith v. Jimmy Crute. Thoughts?
I know Jimmy Crute is got to be pretty good because I've heard his name. I've not watched one of his full fights yet. Anthony Smith is he's tough as hell. I mean, so it's automatically a fight. It's you know what I mean, when you put Anthony Smith in there, it's no longer like gonna be a quick night. It's gonna be a fight. And so I don't know who Jimmy Crute is, but I don't know enough to bet if he's going to win or not.
Well, Anthony's been in the game a long time, 50 pro fights. His record is 34-16. Jimmy's 12-1. And so I actually spoke to Anthony earlier this week, and he was excited about the fight because he felt like, you know, Jimmy doesn't know what he doesn't know. He's young, but he's also willing to kind of play Anthony's game, you know, and have some fun. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you know, styles make fights and whatever. So, Anthony's looking forward to it. I always find it curious when there's like a highly ranked guy who's been in the game a long time with kind of a newer guy who's unranked. Mm-hmm. Do you think that makes any kind of a difference in the odds?
I mean, it's all about the situation, depending who the old guy is, depending who the young guy is. For when I'm looking at the older guy, I look at, you know, how much of their style relied on them taking a hit, you know, because if they take a lot of hits and then give hits back, well, as they get older, they can't do that, you know, so it depends on whose style it is. How, you know, do they rely on speed a lot? When you get older, your speed ain't going to win the fights for you. Can help, but your speed's going to diminish if you're older. The younger guys generally faster. That's why I hope I'm retired by the time I get old.
Well, Anthony's actually only 32, I believe. So like, he's
how
not
old. How old is Jimmy Crute?
Let's look it up.
Because 32 is actually your prime. Anthony Smith and old, but
50 fights. I mean, that's crazy.
That's what I mean. That's the damage accumulated from 50 fights is what you have to add to the equation. In Anthony's case, I do not remember him getting knocked out cold.
So Jimmy's 25.
So he's not. So they're about physically probably about the same. Other than that, Anthony's had a lot more fights. But like I said, Anthony ain't getting knocked out cold. You know, and waking up 5 minutes later asking him what happened. He can remember his fights. Yeah. So, I think it's going to be about the same physically wise. It's not going to be one's too much quicker or slower than other, but in extreme cases, that's what you're going to see.
Okay, so who are we putting our money on in this fight?
I'm going with Anthony. Got to, because if I know one guy's tough and I don't know anything about the other guy, I have to default to the guy that's tough. And he's very well-rounded, Anthony is. So it's not like you're just going to take him down and it's going to be easy night. You're just going to knock him out. It's going to be easy night. It's going to be a very difficult night wherever you go.
Okay. All right. Next up, we got the middleweights, Uriah Hall and Chris Weidman. Now, this is an interesting one because they both really need the win. He won his fight against Anderson Silva, kind of took him out the game. You know, Anderson had one fight left in his contract, but the UFC kind of released him after the Hall fight. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, I fought that night. I remember that. I didn't.
You fought that night?
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that fight. I was just sitting in the back, but I heard about it, and I heard Anderson did good in round one. And then I think he got knocked out after that.
I think in the third round, if I'm not mistaken.
Third round.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so where's your money on this one? Hall or Weidman?
Well,
I know what you're going to say. I knew you were going to say Weidman because you're in with the Sarah Longo guys.
Yeah, that's my buddy, and I can't go against him. I just can't. And you know what? Uriah's my buddy too. And because I met I met him my last fight. I went up and talked to him. He was sitting by me, and because when you do the weigh-in stuff, you're just sitting by him, and I just kind of started a conversation with him. I can't even remember how, but I saw him sitting there by himself. I just kind of wanted to send him some, form of communication. We started talking, and so I like them both. But I mean, I have to go with Weidman. We've trained together. He's welcomed me over to his gym, which is like, I've been over there, and so I'm going with Weidman because he's my friend. That's and but I'll tell you this. He can't trade hits with Uriah Hall. Uriah hits hard. And, Chris don't want to take those hits. So he's got to fight a very specific way to win that one. Uriah's got better kicks, I think. And I think it's pretty obvious Weidman's going to try to take him down.
Yeah.
But maybe not. But if I was Chris, I would. That's what I would try to do because Uriah – if you sit there on the feet with him, he can do twice as many kicks as the average fighter. So he's got more deadly weapons that he's throwing at you. So he can be losing the fight, then all of a sudden throw some crazy shit right at your face, and out of nowhere it just knocks you out. And he does that to a lot of people. And I'm gonna have to say I think Chris is gonna get him down just because Chris is my buddy. I gotta go for him.
There you go. Anthony Smith did say that he just trained with Chris Weidman recently, and he's looking really good. He's also in a better headspace because he moved his family out of New York. I can't remember to where, but a place where, it's more family friendly and the energy is right for him. So let's see how this plays out.
I didn't know he moved out of New York. That's interesting, though. That's really cool.
Yeah, he switched teams. He's no longer with Sarah Longa, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so.
Maybe he's training with Wonder Boy Thompson in South Carolina. That's his cousin, I think.
Oh, okay.
Wonder Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're training together. I saw a picture of them training. I always kind of wanted to train with both of those guys. They're bigger than me, but man, they're nice guys. And but when I go up to New York, Wonder Boy's never there. He's in and out, he travels in and out of New York to train with Chris.
All right. You ready for the ladies?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica Andrade.
Gotta go Shevchenko. That would be my most solid pick out of all of these. If I really had to put money on it, Shevchenko's my number one pick. Like if I had to put money on this card, it's going on Shevchenko.
Oh, wow. Okay. You feel that confident about her. Now her record is 23 and Jessica's is 21-8.
Jessica hits harder. She's a fucking tank. That's the thing is, I think she's going to be a little bit easier for Shevchenko to hit her than it is for Andrade to hit Shevchenko. One of the reasons is Andrade throws a lot of hooks, and I think Shevchenko is going to kind of do straight punches. And those straight punches, they reach a little bit further. And Andrade, some of her best shots when I watch her highlights are big, open, just big hooks, so she's got to get in that range to actually land those hooks that she's fucking good at.
Weili Zhang and Rose Namajunas.
Now that's the most dangerous fight on this whole card. And I mean, I'm worried for their health more than I am anything. I mean, I really am.
Zhang's just a super tough, Rose is too. Thug Rose.
Yeah. And the reason I say I'm worried about their health is like between Usman and Masvidal, if one of them hits the other one good, they'll just go to sleep. They'll just one of them knock each other out. I could really see Rose and Weili just damn near killing each other. I mean, they're both extremely good conditioned, extremely good technique.
Yeah.
And I think Rose should really move her feet a lot more. I'll go with Rose. I'm going to go with Rose.
Wow.
Because if you get into a shootout and you can move your feet better, statistically, you're going to get hit less You know what I mean? So I'm just going to go with Rose off of footwork, off of moving, off of being able to move, because Weili's got more muscle mass.
Yeah.
And if she can just, Rose can be in and out, get Weili a little bit more fatigued, that maybe she could win off of that. I don't think she's going to knock her out easy, though, or anything like that. I think she might just get a decision.
Interesting.
I'll go with Rose.
Weili's record is 21-1. Rose is 10-4. So Weili has twice the experience in the cage. Do you think that that counts for something? Does that, or is it just like after a certain amount of time, it's a wash?
It certainly accounts for something, but it doesn't account for everything. Total training time is what matters. Of course, you got to calculate total training time of technique, total training time of live combat, trying to kill, total training time of eating correctly, sleeping correctly, working the muscles correctly. You add in all those factors, and that's what you get. Because maybe Weili's got fucking twice as many fights on paper, but has she been training twice as long? Probably not. They've probably been training about the same time. And what about in them twice as many fights? Was Weili dominating all of them, or was she taking more damage? So just having more fights on paper, you might have got your fucking ass kicked so bad in some of them fights, you don't fucking come back the same. So the fights on paper, you have to analyze that too. You can't just say she has twice as many fights, so she's got more experience. She does have twice as many fights, but if Rose is trained the same amount, you'll see that. But might not be what I worry about is that last fight Weili had. She took a lot of hits, but she didn't look hurt, honestly, the whole time. I think she has I think she's a tank, and she can have like 5 more of those fights and not even be phased. So
that was a crazy fight with Joanna.
Yeah, it was hard to watch at the end.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now the main event, we've got the welterweights, Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal.
I'm going to go with Masvidal. And the reason that, because a lot of people are saying that Kamaru's going to decision him again, and he could, but the only way that I see Kamaru winning is out wrestling him, getting on top of him and kind of just holding him down and trying to get pot shots and win the rounds. I don't think he's going to put Jorge away. I don't see it. I don't see Jorge getting put away. He fights in, he's good, he can move his feet, his head, his hands. And when you get him down, he has submission defense. I guess his weakness against Kamaru will be the ability to get back up to his feet. If Kamaru gets him down, Kamaru is very good at holding motherfuckers down. And so you have to respect the ability of Kamaru to do that. And, but that's not going to win you the fight. In a fight to the death, it's just going to get you in it's going to get you in a down position. You actually have to finish this guy now. And can he do that? I don't think so. I'm not convinced that he can, but I could be wrong.
So we might see a repeat of their last fight.
Yes, but I think Masvidal is going to hit him a lot more. And I think he's going to win. I think Masvidal is going to win.
Interesting. So are you betting money on any of these fights?
No, but if I was betting, it would definitely be on the Shevchenko. And I think Masvidal will be a good bet because he's an underdog that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who's more dangerous between Usman and Masvidal? You already know it's Masvidal. Look at when he finishes people, they wake up asking what happened. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that shit. You don't want to be on it. And so you put a guy like that, a guy who really hurts people, and make him an underdog by a huge amount. That's a good bet. If you're a betting man, I bet on Shevchenko and I bet on Masvidal. And I'd really bet on Shevchenko. I put some good money on that because she's solid. everywhere. I mean, she's hard to beat.